Hey guys, I'm sorry I haven't been posting lately. It's because I've been doing my homework late. I've been coming to school out late. So, Chapter 3, the scene of the crime. Within 15 minutes, the semi was a full-scale crime scene. Although the fun jungle security was mostly staffed by nitwits, Chief Honecker himself was extremely competent. As his behest, 3 officers had brought him a criminal investigation kit and then been posted around the loading dock. To keep unauthorized personnel away, JJ wanted to keep Panda's disappearance a secret even from his employees. So the guards told any potential onlookers that were steered clear of the loading dock in order to protect Leaping's safety. Meanwhile, Honecker went to work, searching for the interior of the trailer for clues. Only 2 other people were allowed in the trailer with him. One was my father. Instead of documenting the arrival of the panda, he's now recording the scene for the investigation. The other person was me. Honecker hadn't been pleased about this, but JJ had insisted. When JJ had his mind set on something, there was no taking him out of it, especially when he could fire you. Teddy had a hand in solving every major crime that's taking place here. He declared, I'm not keeping him on the sidelines when my top vet and pandas are missing. The way he said it, I didn't have much of a choice. The matter either. I definitely wanted to help find Doc Leaping. I'm sorry, I had to close the door. My dog was trying to get in my room. But even though I had some success solving crimes at Fun Jungle before, I was still an only kid, being asked or really told to aid Honecker in his investigation was daunting, and yet I didn't seem like a good idea to say no. So Honecker led me to the crime scene. Although he warned me to give him space and do not touch anything, then he slipped a pair of ironing gloves and went to work. Meanwhile, Marge desperately wanted to be part of the investigation. She was in the doghouse for letting Leaping and the dog disappeared. In the first place, she stood off to the side of loading dock. Meanwhile, Pete Honecker went ballistic on her. Pete didn't lose his cool often, staying calm under pressure. Part of his job, but now it is appeared that every bit of frustration he bottled up over the past few weeks was spewing out of him. There were probably other things he should have been doing, but at the moment he was flipping out. How could you lose the panda? He screamed. It wasn't my fault, Marge said defensively. Then whose fault was it? Pete demanded. You were the only security officer on duty. Wasn't a sightseeing trip you had to make sure the panda got here, and guess what? There's no panda. I'm aware of that, Marge said. Are you aware of how much energy and money it had taken to arrange a panda to come to Fun Jungle. Pete yelled. His normally perfect complexion was now mottled, red from rage. He looked like a tomato with teeth. Are you aware how angry the Chinese are going to be? I don't hand out pandas like fortune cookies. I took us 5 years of negotiating getting this animal. 5 years JJ had caught in thousands of flavors. He put his reputation on the line. He spent millions building a special panda facility and more millions on advertising and promotion. All which doesn't mean squat if we don't have a freaking panda. Marge glanced towards JJ McCracken, as though hoping he might come to her aid. But JJ wouldn't even make eye contact with her, indicating he was angry with Marge, and Pete was. He was simply letting Pete do the dirty work. I could understand why Pete was exaggerating what JJ had gone through to Deadly Pink. Summer had told me about the whole process. JJ had a lot of business just this in China. He had to use every one of them to linger with the Chinese government. He had plenty on his back room deals and promises. Now that the panda is missing, each of those could come back to haunt him. Even so, Mars looked beaten down by Pete's anger that I almost felt bad for her. Almost, but not quite, because Mars had burned me plenty of times, and I had her, even her, I had never really deserved you. Meanwhile, she had really messed up big now, letting the panda and dog vanish on her watch. I was pretty upset with her and about myself. Everyone else seemed equally annoyed. My mother and Summer tinkered outside the truck, glaring at Marge. Dad was mostly hidden behind the grandma, but I could tell he was upset too. And Honecker wasn't even trying to hide his anger. He poked around the crunch. How on earth did she miss all of this, he muttered. Miss what, Deadass? But it started Summer pointed to where the lock was reserved of the semi, while the hole had rather small on the outside doors. On the side it was much longer the size of a baseball. The metal was peeled back and stored as though a meteor had blasted through it. The thieves, an explosive low lock, probably C4, but I won't know until we get it. Analyzed by the lab, I have no idea how they did it on moving truck, but I can guarantee you it wouldn't have been quiet and yet Mars didn't have no clue that it happened. Dad snapped a few photos of the hole. On the loading dock, Mom tried calling Doc's cell phone, which she's been doing for 2 minutes since learning he's disappeared. I could tell from the looks of her face that this call, like the others, had gone straight to Doc's voicemail. So no answer to Doc's phone, she reported. You're wasting your time, Monica told her. Who, whoever snatched him were an amateur. You're not gonna hear squat from Doc until they want us to. She moved on to the panda's cage, which was set along the driver's side wall at the rear of the truck, where it would have been easier to let the pin in and out. The cage had 12 feet long and 6 feet wide, which would have given Leaping plenty of room. Although this only left just 2 foot gap squeezed past it along the opposite wall. Transporting a panther or any zoo animal can complicated task. You couldn't explain to an animal that it was going to be unfairly confined space, like a truck or an airplane for hours, if not days. So if you simply tired to move the animal without any preparation, it would be stressed. It would stress out. Sometimes they could even die from anxiety. To prevent this, the keepers prepare animals for travel. In Leaping's case, this had taken 6 months of training. The first step had been to get Leaping used to being in a cage. The keepers in San Diego had trained her to go inside one for increasingly long periods of time by rewarding her with treats and apples and yams. They practiced lifting in her cage and forklift and moving it to simulation of the truck, where she would be transferred to somewhat longer cage inside. The actual truck was sent to San Diego a month ahead of the move. Deeping spent that time getting used to it. However, once Deeping was comfortable in the truck, there was plenty left to coordinate. The time of her delivery, the plan down to the minute, that was no mistake. The drive had been done overnight. The idea was to be on the roads when the fewest other drivers were, and thus the least chance of an accident. Plus, it would also be standing cooler the truck at night, and during the day, giraffes were partly tricky to deliver since they were so tall. They need special trucks with holes in the roof to stick their necks through. The routes they took had to be carefully planned to avoid any low bridges. By all accounts, through Leaping had handled her truck training perfectly. Short traffic delay at the end. The trip gone exactly as planned, except for the part the panda and the dog had vanished. The panda cage was empty, save from scattering bamboo bits and a large plastic ball, which Leaping had probably been given to help keep herself stimulated. The gate of the cage was aimed toward the rear doors of the trailer. It had been locked with another bolt and then wrapped with a padlock chain for good measure. The train now dangling loosely. Two of the thick links snapped open, while the dead ball had ripped apart. Looks like the thieves used bolt cutters and a crowbar, Honecker observed. He didn't seem to be sharing information with me so much as talking things through to himself, trying to make sense of the crime played out. Quieter than blowing the bolt off, but it would have taken quite a bit longer, maybe a few minutes. So why didn't they just blow it open the same as the back door? I asked. Honecker gave me just a smile look. You can't figure that one out yourself, Sherlock. I thought about it and came up with an idea. Because they blowing up stuff is dangerous. That's one reason the back of the truck is enclosed space, not the great place for an explosion. No matter how controlled it is, our kidnappers didn't want to hurt themselves or the panda, I suggested. Honecker considered that. I sh- they sh- the sh- then shrugged noncommittally and turned to my father. Jack, can you get some photos of this? Sure, Dad agreed. Just a gate, start with that, and then, heck, you might as well get anything that seems of interest. There's no such thing as too much crime scene photos. They nodded in agreement, then set to off to then set to work. The inside of the truck flickered with the blasting of his flash. Back of unloading docks, Marge was still pleading her case to Pete. I don't see why everyone's so angry at me. What about the drivers? Were right there with me the whole time. Their job was to drive the truck, Pete informed her. Your job was to protect you. Even so, I didn't hear anything either, Marge pointed out. I'm not the only one. There's somewhat valid point. There had been two other people in the cab, so, so that drive could be made in one shot. A single driver would have stopped to sleep. There was space in the back of the truck's cab for whoever wasn't driving to sleep or relax. It was 8 feet long, 4 feet wide, with a narrow bed, a little TV with a DVD player, and headphones. Both drivers were sitting on the edge of the loading dock. Greg Jefferson, who driven the first shift, was a big bear of a man. Juan Velasquez, who driven the second half, was small and weary. Both looked considerably more upset about the missing panther and the Varanian than Marsh did. Now Marsh pointed out that the fingers of both of them. They had very different reactions. One grew even more upset, as though he blamed himself. He nodded and said, "That's true." He didn't hear anything. Meanwhile, Greg got angry at Marge. He had the other things on our minds, he snarled. He had other things on our minds, he snarled. Driving the truck ain't easy as you think. And we had an awful tight schedule to follow. You were supposed to keep an eye out for any trouble, not us. I was keeping an eye out for trouble, Marge said, getting her dangled up. I'm just saying, there were three of us. None of us sensed anything was wrong. So I don't understand why I'm the one ranked over the coals here. Because you screwed up, Pete screamed. In his history of epic fails, this is up there with steering the Titanic into an iceberg. We have spent the last 3 months telling the entire world to come see our panda, and now we don't have a panda for them to see. We're also missing a person, Mom pointed out quickly. Yes, quietly. Yes, Pete said quickly, in in a way indicated he had actually forgotten the dog was missing too. There that was all as well. Did you have any idea how upset the family is going to be? Speaking of which, has anyone told them? JJ asked. Their uncomfortable silence realized no one had. JJ looked at P. He's heard our PR. Perhaps it would be the best you took care of it. Pronto, I believe by now March is aware of how badly she screwed up. P realized that wasn't a suggestion so so much of as an order. He looked a few feet deep breaths to calm himself, then found the closest reflective surface and a window, and smoothed his hair and tightened the knot on his tie. You're right, JJ. Something of this nature needs to be handled by someone competent. He gave Marge the last nasty look and stormed off. Behind his back, Marge made a face at him. Honecker moved farther to the trailer and semi-past the panda's cage. Dad and I followed him, just snapping pictures the whole way. Just beyond the cage, the full-size refrigerator. While the truck had been driven, the refrigerator had run off the electrical system. But even now it hummed, powered by this separate generator. Honecker snapped a pair of surgical gloves and opened it. There's bamboo, several shapes of it. They have to refrigerate the bamboo as to keep it from wilting, Dad explained. From what I understand, Lupin was a picky eater. They wanted to keep her on the content as possible, even raw. Honecker closed the refrigerator and we moved on. Since we were far from the rear doors now, there was less light, though we could still see all right. Doc's quarters were much nicer than I expected. The space was about 12 feet long and 8 feet wide. On the wall, the semi farthest from the rear doors. The reverse side of the truck's cab, a flat screen TV, was mounted on with a couch face it. So the side of the couch was a small table with a lamp bolted to the top so it would topple off the truck, made a sharp turn. Between the couch and the panda's cage was a twin bed. The furniture was better quality than ours back home and seemed comfortable enough. The only thing that looked unusual was the bed. The sheets were merely rumpled. They were twisted up and partly pulled off the mattress. Looked like Doc was yanked out of bed, I observed. Hunter gave me a sidelong glance. It seemed like mine had either annoyed or impressed by the statement, but couldn't tell which. Why do you say that? I hummed. Now, on that spot, because most people don't kick the sheets off like that when they sleep, or I don't, at least. But the dog was sleeping in there, and someone pulled him out. Maybe the sheets might have come off too. Honecker gave the tiniest of nods. It doesn't appear he was forcibly removed. Although, given the state of the rest of the surroundings, it didn't look like he put up much of the fight. He knelt by the bed and carefully ran his glove over the sheet. "Are you looking for something?" Dad asked. This Honecker suddenly moved his white washcloth and started of sheets, still holding it at arm's length and face, playing with or something, kinda like alcohol from it. Dad quickly snapped some photos of it. "What's that?" I asked. "A chloroform form," Honecker replied. "It appears that whoever took sleeping drugged dogs in his sleep, then made off with him too." Honecker removed the largest plastic evidence bag from his jacket pocket, dropped the claws inside, and sealed it. Dad swept in the best photos of the bed. He stepped back, taking everything in. Honecker was right. There didn't seem to be any signs of struggle. Doc had been moved out easily as a sack of laundry. Besides the rumpled sheets, nothing was upset or overturned. The TV area looked as though Doc had barely used it. Someone had provided plenty of brand new DVDs for him to watch during the long ride, but the only one he unwrapped was a natural documentary about lions and delta. Into the glare, camouflage spotted an oddly shaped hunk of metal on the floor near the TV. Light faded and the object was shadowed. By shadowing again, "There's something over there," I told Honecker, pointing. The next flash illuminated it again. We saw it, then flipped on the flashlight so we could get a better look. It was a few interlocked pieces of metal, charred and twisted, about the size of a fist. It was dead-bolted locked from the rear doors. Honecker said, "That what's left of it at least." Dad, the explosive blew it, it all the way over there. I asked. That was not too surprising. Honecker told me C4 is awfully powerful. Even the smallest bit could have sent the lock a dozen yards. It looked down the length of the truck toward the rear doors. "Would an explosion like that be dangerous?" It could be, Honecker agreed. But the explosive would have been on either side of the doors. The biggest threat to them would probably be getting hit on the lock by the lock as it flew out. Would it have to been loud? Of course. Honecker surrounded like he's getting annoyed of. "What's your point?" Annoyed with my questions. "What's your point?" They grabbed Doc out of the bed. I explained. Why didn't the explosion wake him up? Honecker and Dad looked at each other like they were surprised I hadn't thought of this. "Maybe Doc had earplugs in," Dad suggested. "It probably would have been awfully loud in here while the truck was moving." "Or maybe," Honecker began, but then seemed to think better of finishing the sentence. "But maybe what?" I pressed. Honecker mewed over whether to share his idea with us for a few moments. Finally, he said maybe Doc knew the explosion was coming. "You You mean you think Doc is involved in the crime scene? Dad asked incredulously. No way, I said. Doc would never do anything like this. Honecker held his hands, signaling us to calm down. I didn't say he did. I'm just thinking out loud, that's all. It sounded like accusing him. I said it would have gone on, but Dad put a hand on his shoulder, indicating I shouldn't. I'm not amusing anyone, Honecker told me. Not yet. However, the evidence clearly indicates whoever committed the crime scene had inside information. The truck was designed to look like 10,000 others. The timing of the delivery was kept top secret, and yet our thieves knew exactly the truck to hit. When they hit it, and how to hit it. There weren't very many people with this information, and Doc was one of them. So was Marsh, I pointed out. To my surprise, Honecker didn't defend her. Instead, he limited she was. I still can't imagine Doc being involved, Dad said. Why on earth would he help steal a panda? Why would anyone steal a panda, period? Honecker's voice trailed off as he noticed something had in beam a flashlight. A white envelope poked out beneath the couch. It looked placed on a small TV, but the trucks were driving. Then knelt some pictures of it. Honecker picked up the envelope, sealed it, and flap hung open, revealing a single sheet of paper. Honecker removed it, read it, then said, "Guess that answers my question." He held out my father, and I could read the message typed on it. Dear J.J. McCracken, if you want the panda back alive, it'll cost you millions of dollars to cash. $10 million cash. Start getting it together. More details to come. That's chapter 3, and now I'm going to start doing chapters, no parts.